Today, it will be finished.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
So, as you might be able to tell from that montage, Federation Force, and there is no way I'm calling it a Metroid game, let alone a Prime game, is pretty shit. By no means is it the worst thing in the world. It's certainly competent, but it's little more than what Triforce Heroes was to the Zelda franchise. That being, rather than working the multiplayer into a new game, say Breath of the Wild or a new Metroid game, they made some awkward side game that really has nothing to do with the original brand, but just slapped any old brand recognised name on it to make it sell copies, while damning the consequences of the brand damage. If you've played Triforce Heroes, then you've played this. Like Triforce Heroes, you pick a mission, then you go through that mission with your friends or a random set of online Johnnies if you are a sad, pathetic loner with no friends. Like Toad! And pray to God you have friends, or your friends are not dicks. As, like Triforce Heroes, every level has a lock with 4 door colour things, kind of like the Diamond Authority symbol basically on the old Sky Temple, and other team-based obstacles. So if one of you just wants to sit in the corner spamming the help me emote and never stand on the 4-player switch, then you're fucked. With the end of each mission giving you some experience to fill a shitty meter, to unlock a few more customization options for your standard issue Master Chef power armor. And that's all I'm going to say on this review, because fuck it, if Nintendo can't be asked to put in the effort, why should I? You might think that this is a cop-out, but trust me, okay? Trust me. Keep this review and the next few lines in mind, as I'm saving all of the information for Nintendo's next game, as their next game is going to be maybe even an hour-long review, as it's one that a lot of people are very passionate about, and I have a lot, and I mean a lot to say about that one, Nintendo, and Shiggy as a whole. And you may have also noticed that I'm not using Federation Force footage, because that's incredibly boring, and the game is pretty boring. Nah, I'm using the Metroid 2 remake footage, because it's far more engaging, and far more fitting of Samus's 30th birthday, and it knows how to respect the franchise and have brand loyalty, because ASRM does what Nintendo don't. And you know, even though this would have been a great 30th anniversary Metroid game, can't have that, can we, Nintendo don't? I could go on for hours about everything that's going wrong at Nintendo right now. How they are trashing their beloved franchises, how they are treating most of their anniversaries of their franchises that made them what they are today, and how they're staggering release date. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to mention that, didn't I? Yes, Nintendo, in their constant drug-filled trip of delusion, has yet again decided that even though most game stores now have the copies in the back room, for whatever reason, Nintendo has decided in their stupidity that it will no longer be coming out for the UK and Australia on August 19th. But now, the UK is looking at a September 2nd release date, and Australia, once again, with Kirby Planet Robobot, fuck knows when! Which, once again, only damns Nintendo and their profits in the long run. And this time, it's not like we have to wait for it to be translated from Japanese to English. No, the Friday the 19th of August, that's the USA release date. You know, the United States of America. The country that speaks fucking English. So it's not even any kind of localization or translation. It's Nintendo doing it for fuck knows why. And of course, this now creates the same shit that happened with Kirby Planet Robobot. Japan gets it a whole month earlier, or in this case, USA. So either hackers of Japan release the ROM so everyone can play it, or the more richer people will import it. And when it happens, what will Nintendo do? Will they learn from their mistakes and realise that this is now a global market and staggered release dates are dead and obsolete? Will they understand that the only reason that everyone is pirating it is because they, as a company, are creating this horrible market of the haves and have-nots economy and so on? No, they will cry out saying how pirates are ruining their business and how importers are destroying the profits of that particular region. As everyone I know that is willing to give this not Metroid game a chance, that is not in the USA, is importing it right now as I speak, so they will have a fully paid for physical copy of the game. So why buy the UK release? Well, they won't. So the UK profits will take a hit. Again, if Nintendo just released it at the same time, as there is no difference, as both US, UK and Down Under gather, all speak the same language bar a few words, which in hindsight each region knows what the game is getting at. Like, oh yeah, here fries over in America are called chips in England, but fries or chips, both words pretty much still mean the same thing. A potato-based snack that is usually a side dish to a steak or a sandwich. One or two words does not really matter. And if it does, it's one or two words that could have easily been changed in minutes. Minutes during pre-production weeks ago. Not now, forcing a game's delay. So again, let's take this review as a starter, if you will, as a taster. So we will just move on to the final verdict and get ready for the main event. So, the final verdict for Federation Force is an average 3 out of 5. It's not the greatest game in the world, but it's competent. If you enjoyed Triforce Heroes, a team-based puzzle adventure, now with a couple of first-person shooting elements, then you will most likely like this, with things improved upon from Triforce Heroes, like it being region-free, unlike Triforce Heroes that was region-locked in the online department. Your chibi Master Chef moves at an okay speed, and the visuals are nice and colourful, and the music has a nice sci-fi feel. But by no means is this a Metroid game. It's little more than a multiplayer game with a Metroid skin over the top, using the Metroid brand to try and sell more copies and causing massive brand damage to the Metroid label. As right now Nintendo is on an Activision streak, because you know, it's not like Spyro had thousands of fans that were hyped as hell for Spyro's Kingdom, my kingdom, that they completely changed to Skylanders without telling anybody, but still kept my name in the title even though I am not in that adventure whatsoever. Oh, fucking imagine this is never fucking stop. So, again, 3 out of 5, it's not bad, but it's not the best, and I would far more urge you to go find a ROM of the ASRM Metroid 2 remake, as it's an amazing, fantastic remake, and it's far, far more of a 30th anniversary present than this shit that Nintendo has put out. And that is all we will say for now, but be sure to come back for the Paper Mario Color Splash review, a series that I have held very dearly, where a lot of shit is going to go down, and a lot of people from Nintendo to Game Explain to MatPan the Completionist are going to be called out. Before you all run to them saying he's calling you out, just a little extra to that, it's not a point of jealousy, it's more a point of how their interviews with Shiggy went. You know, same with Game Explain, where they had an interview with the new Paper Mario director lady, and when asked about Thousand Year Door and its RPG style, she said, "You have had the Mario and Luigi series for that," which earned quite a lot of flack. But then, Game Explain quickly recut the video and removed that question and that response. Any reason why you needed to have that line omitted there, Game Explain? It was not because Nintendo was getting backlash and you were scared of pissing off Lord Shiggy, was it? But again, this is not the Color Splash review, so we will save that for next time. So join me in Nintendo's next review, which is going to be a special one, as we're going to have a lot to go over, and as always, seems there was Nintendo footage in this video, and they're going to try and monetize it because Nintendo are getting as bad as Activision. There is no way that's happening, because do you remember once upon a time where there were people on the streets walking hand in hand in hand? They used to talk about the weather, making plans together, days would last forever.
Come to me, cover me, hold me, together we'll break these chains of love. Don't give up, don't give up. Together we'll be in my baby, break the chains of love. Do you remember once upon a time
So again, let's take this review as a taster, a starter if you will. So we will just move on to the final Finished? He's not finished.